Hi there, students. So much for. Okay, we use this phrase so much for in a couple of varying ways. Okay, we use this particularly to say that something has not been successful. It's not been helpful. So, for example, the team has got a new manager, and the team then lost the next 5 matches in a row. So much for this new manager. Okay, so he's not been helpful. I'm not impressed by him. Yeah? He was very, very much hyped. Everybody said it was going to make lots of difference, but so much for the new manager because it just didn't work. He just didn't work. Okay, so I bought a new English course that said that it was going to teach me to speak perfect English in my sleep. So I spent €1,000 on this course, and I tried it, but it didn't work. And I tried it, and it didn't work. So much for shortcuts when learning English. Okay, so it's saying that it didn't work. It's now not worth consideration. Yeah. I'm a bit angry about it. I'm a bit disappointed, and now I'm going to disregard it. There's a great example here from Wikipedia. Volkswagen cars were cheating on emission tests. So much for German engineering. Okay, so disappointment. Something that had a good reputation, but it wasn't real. We also use this phrase so much for, meaning it means that something's impossible. So, for example, we were going on a picnic this afternoon, but it's just started raining. So much for our picnic. It's not going to happen. Yeah, I've given up on it. You normally use this phrase so much for when you give up on something. You're not going to try to use it anymore. It's an act of resignation, if you like. There was a new boss of the company, a new CEO, and he had a really good reputation, and they were going to pay him a huge salary. But a month after he joined the company, he was arrested for fraud. So much for the new CEO. Okay, so we can't use him anymore because he's been arrested. And yes, I'm disappointed about this. Okay, so much for that explanation. So it's here I'm using it saying that you've dealt with something, and now you're going on to the next thing. So we talked about the finance problems. So much for the finance problems. Now let's talk about a different topic. So we've dealt sufficiently with that. Or maybe at the beginning of a class I check that everyone's there. So much for the roll call. It's finished. Now let's get down to work. Okay, so you've finished talking about it. Okay, so much for the polite chatter, the polite introduction. Now let's get down to work. Or using this to suggest that something has not been useful. It's not been successful. She always, my boss always promised me this job. and then she gave it to someone else. So much for my boss's promises. Okay, so much for. It's something that I believed, but it didn't. It wasn't true, and here it's showing disappointment. It's something not to think about anymore. I took my car. My car stopped working, and I took it to the garage, and they said that I needed to spend thousands of pounds to repair it. Well, so much for that my car. I'm going to take it to the scrap yard. The he said that he was going to be an honest politician, and he was going to do wonderful things if he was elected as president. But he became president and didn't do them. So much for his promises. Yeah, they're not there. I dismiss them. I disregard them because they're just not true. I've given up on them as well. So it's an expression of disappointment where you give up on something, where you don't think it's worth doing anymore. Yeah, my friend said he would help me, and he came. And he just sat there drinking beer, watching me work. So much for his help, I said sarcastically. Okay, so much for. It's something that didn't that wasn't what it was cut out to be. Okay, so much for that idea. Yeah, it's just not going to work. So much for that explanation. I think it's time to stop. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. So if you didn't understand it, you could say, so much for that explanation he gave.